Welcome back to the channel, guys, and what I'm going to be doing today is a kit review on this bit of kit right here, which is the CF1 Loki by Crossfire Packs. Okay then guys, this pack here is an assault pack designed by Crossfire Packs, and this is basically the new version of their assault pack that they've come out with recently, a CF1. This is designed basically, as it says on the tin, as an assault pack, so to carry minimal kit into an assault, or for use by people in armoured vehicles and things like that, where space is at a premium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through the pack. I'm going to talk through the features, functions, all the dimensions and stuff like that, and then what I'll do is I'll show you what I've got loaded in this pack, how you can configure it, how I see it being used, and then I'll go through pros and cons at the end as per standard. Right then, so some specifications of the pack then. Dimensions: it is 48 centimeters from top to bottom. It is 27 centimeters across, and it's 11 centimeters from here to here, so like the main pack part, not including this add-on pouch at the back. So that's the specifications. The sizes: it's 1.6 kilos in weight, and the material used then is 500D Cordura, so quite robust material. Definitely, from what I've seen of it so far, of my use of it, it's definitely a robust bit of kit. So what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to go into the pack first and show what I've got packed into it. I'm going to get that kit out, because then I'll be able to open up the pack and just talk more about the functions and features on the pack. Right then, so just talking through some of the kit that you can load in this pack, and you can see it's a relatively compact pack. Okay, it's not designed to be carrying large amounts of equipment and stuff like that. It's just designed really as a low profile assault pack, but it can carry quite a surprising amount of kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through what I've got packed in here, and this is just an example. This isn't like some sort of loadout video. It's basically just to give you an idea about what you can pack in this fairly compact pack. Right then, so open up the top buckles there then, and going into the main compartment. So there's two zips, there's one here and there's one here. I'm going to go into the main compartment here then. So going into that main compartment, the first thing I've got is a shemag. And then after that I've got quite a large waterproof jacket. Well, when I say large, it's not the most compact one out there. So that's an Arc'teryx Alpha jacket. Okay, that's that there. Then what I've got is a warm jacket. So this is the JJ's layer jacket there then. I've done a review on that. I'll put a link to that up at top there. So that's the main compartment, apart from the bladder here. So I've actually got a 3 litre Camelback bladder there, and that's held in the bladder sleeve there then. So a fair bit in the main compartment. Then there's another zip top secondary compartment here, and this is perfect for putting all your sort of like your optics, things like that in there. So I've got a pair of, these are actually night vision binoculars in there, and a head torch. This would be perfect, like I say, for putting things like MBGs and stuff like that in here. Because it's got that soft lining, you could also add like Velcro back panels, pouches onto there as well. I'll talk a bit more about that compartment when I go through the actual bag. So that's the outside pocket and the main compartment. Then we've got this external pouch that attaches on the back, and this is removable, and in here I've got a basher. So this is a bit more compact than the British Army issue basher. This is one from Plat Attack in Australia, but a full-size basher, so a decent good sized basher there for up to 2 people. So that's the loadout for it there then. The only bit I haven't covered in this then is this beaver tail pocket. So I've got my Ops Core helmet here, and that fits in there perfectly. So you can fit a fairly decent sized helmet inside there as well, in addition to all the other stuff. Obviously that expands out that beaver tail pocket there then. So that's just an idea about you know, how much kit you can carry inside this assault pack. So what I'm going to do next then is I'm going to talk about the features and functions of the pack, and there is a lot of them, so stand by. They've made this, the whole design concept of this is to be scalable, okay? So it's not just a fixed size and you're stuck with it, it's scalable. You've got lots of different sort of add-ons and parts to it that you can change and kind of build up and down. So the main compartment, this bit here, is 12 litres. That's the capacity of the main compartment. Then this kangaroo compartment here, this kind of beaver tail thing, that's another 10 litres in there. So you could put a helmet in there, or you could stuff it, you know, you can use it as a stuffed pouch because it's got the mesh on the side, so nothing's going to fall out. You could stuff that with, say, a waterproof jacket if it was wet, or any other kit. You know, if you was maybe going into an assault and your platoon sergeant handed you a couple of bandoliers of ammo, you could stuff that in there, no dramas. Then you've got this additional pouch on the back here, known as the baguette pouch. That's what they call it, because it's like a long, thinnish sort of size and shape. That's another 4 litres there. So I'll show in a sec, but this whole section's removable. Obviously the pouch is removable, so you could go from a 12 litre pack to a 22 litre pack to a 26 litre pack, all in one bag, you know, or change it up how you feel. Right then, going from the top down, you've got a low profile grab handle, which I really like, okay? One of the things I did a review recently on a DaySat from Tyree Tactical, and I didn't like the sticky up handle on the top, but this is great. Obviously Tyree Tactical have taken that feedback and changed it now, but I like a low profile grab handle, because what I particularly don't like is something like annoying me on the back of my neck as I'm patrolling. You've got really good shoulder straps, okay, really nice shaped, and only, you know, it's not a lot of padding in that at all, but this is obviously designed to be worn by fighters. You're going to be wearing body armor, so a lot of the time it's not going to make a lot of difference, but these are quite comfortable. I have worn this whilst I've been out and hiking, and it worked absolutely fine. It's super comfortable. Going down the shoulder straps then, on the left hand side they've put a couple of Velcro wraps that you can feed your hydration bladder tube through. That's great. Obviously you can, well, not obviously, but you can take these off. These just slip straight out, and you could attach them on the other side if you wanted to. If you was a, you know, this is set up for a right-handed shooter. If you was a left-handed shooter, you could set it up on the other side, or if you're just hiking in, depends on what side you want it. Then you've got this sternum strap here, which is got the usual really sturdy Crossfire fast X buckle, or fast X type buckles on the side release buckles. Really good, really sturdy, not one of those little thin ones like you get on some of the camel backpacks. And this is removable, so what you've got is a little tab just here, and you just pass the tab through this buckle here like that, and then you can unthread the whole thing. So really easy to take on and take off. And then what you've got is this webbing sort of ladder system, so you can attach it at the point where it suits you the most. I've put it on the last but one, and that fits me perfectly. The actual buckles then, these aren't quick release type, but I prefer this personally. On most backpacks you've just got the normal tab that you slip up. On the end of all the webbing you've got these Velcro strap tidiers, which are great for keeping your kit nice and tidy, so you haven't got straps dangling around everywhere. So one thing I will mention here then is the end of the actual shoulder straps are attached in the same way as the sternum strap I just mentioned, where you just pass it through and you can take it off really quickly and really easily. And basically that's the same, the actual, this part, this kind of yoke type part of the shoulder straps does exactly the same thing. So you can take this whole thing off, and Crossfire are actually designing a method to attach this directly on the back of the yoke of the DZ rig, which is something else I've done a review on recently. So this will attach directly on the back. So if you wanted to have it attached as opposed to as a backpack that you can zip off, you know, you've got that option to do that. Okay then, so that's the shoulder straps covered there. Then at the bottom here, what you've got is a waist strap. It's only a thin little thing, but to be honest, on something this size, it's only 20 odd litres at the most. You're not going to want a big hefty waist strap. All this is for is stability. So if you're running around, you've got the option of putting this on around your waist and just keeping yourself nice and stable. Nice thing about this waist strap though is you've got, and this is something I haven't seen on something of this size, these little like mini waist straps, is these actually pull in from the outside like that, you know. So you've got the buckle at the centre there, at the centre of your waist, and these pull in from the outside, much like the larger Crossfire packs, which is great because it's just more ergonomic, you know, it works a lot better. These, much like the things I just mentioned, can slip off dead easy. You just pass that webbing through that loop there and you just can take the whole waist strap off in seconds if you want to, because that really, you know, for a lot of guys, you're probably not going to want to have that waist strap on there anyway, really. If you're running around in body armor and stuff like that, you're probably going to want to take that off, but you've got the option anyway, and it is a nice little strap. Okay, going on to the front of the pack here then. As I say, you've got the baguette pouch. Now this is completely removable and it uses their LTAS system. So you've got like a daisy chain webbing system running down the pack, and then you've got a little toggle. So the way these work then, if we have a look here, there's like a little toggle, and I'll just slip that out. See how easy that was? So there's a little toggle, and it's got a piece of webbing on the end of it, or a piece of, sorry, cord on the end of it. You pass it through the webbing and then pull it in like so, and once it's in, it's secure and it will stay there. It won't come off. So quite a novel way, quite an interesting way of doing that. So it goes in from that side to the inside, and then it's held on like so. So this whole thing can come off. I'll show a picture of it off in a bit, and then you can have a clean back. All right. So the beaver tail then, this part here, or kangaroo pouch, this whole thing comes off as well. So you've got 6 clips, 3 on each side, 1, 2, and then 1 at the bottom, and then same on this side, 1, 2, and then 3rd one just at the bottom there. And then what you've got on this side of the pack, as you're looking, you've got a little zip, and this is secured in place so it can't move with a toggle as well. So I'm just going to take that toggle out of that system there, and then you've got a zip, and the whole thing just zips off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just undo that zip there. There's a bit of Velcro on this side, so again, secure it a bit more securely. And again, the little toggle system, and you just unzip it there. And that's the beaver tail off. Okay, so if you wanted to run it with a bit more slick, a bit more low profile, and you just wanted the 12 litres, you could take that entire thing off. You know, if you didn't need to have the extra carrying capacity, or to say carry a helmet, you've got the option of just having it as a very low profile assault pack. But you know, 12 litres is pretty decent. These remaining buckles then, again, you can just slip the webbing tab through like so, and these just come off. So if you wanted to take them off, you know, if you weren't just going to clip that back on at some point, you could take all 6 of those off. And it's not going to, you know, going to have those straps dangling around everywhere. So once you've taken it off, then on the front of the pack here, then what we've got is a couple of fields of molly, or Powell's webbing as it's more accurately known. You've got 3 rows that way by 1, 2, 3, 4 going that way. Okay, so you've got the option of mounting a molly pouch on there if you wanted to, so that's a good option. And then this is the webbing here, that LTAS system. So ladder toggle attachment system, that's what that's called there, LTAS. So if you wanted to, you could take the pouch that is at the moment attached to the back of the beaver tail, and you can put that directly on the back of this panel here. So again, you've got the option of kind of configuring it how you want to. All right then, so what we've got here then is the main compartment, which is opened by a zipper. So there's the main compartment, and if you have a look inside there, then what we've got is a hanging point, or a pouch here, a whole pouch here for a bladder. So that's that there, that's the bladder pouch there, and this is actually designed to be waterproof. And I know that might sound a bit strange, but if you get a leak in your bladder, it's designed so it doesn't kind of flood out into your pack and make everything else wet. So that's why they've made it like a waterproof type system. That's held in place by these toggles here. Again, you just slip them through. Same sort of thing as the LTAS thing, you just slip them through and you can remove that completely if you wanted to, if you didn't want to use that. That's the point there for attaching your bladder. You've got like a strap, just a simple strap system there. And then underneath there, if you was to take that off, you've got a mesh pouch there which runs all the way to the bottom of the pack, okay? So it runs, if I show you the side of the pack, it runs from there to the bottom of the pack there. So again, you could use that for putting a bladder in, or anything else like a flat item, whatever you wanted to put in there that was kind of flattish. Okay, so then you've basically, inside there, you've got your main compartment where you're just going to stuff whatever you get. Going into the secondary pouch then, opening up the zips, and these zips are really nice. They've got the old toggles on with a heat shrunk rubber on them as well to keep them nice and neat and tidy. So opening up that then, you've got this soft lined, and it's on both sides, this soft lined compartment. Ideal for carrying all your optics, things like NVGs, things like that, binoculars, whatever you might be carrying. Also with this though, this is going to be perfect for adding those additional pouches you can get from maybe organisational pouches, stuff like that, with a Velcro back on that you could just literally slap in there. Another great thing you could whack in here is a med kit with one of those Velcro back panels. So it's quite a decent size there. You can see the size of my hand there. You know, it's like 2 hand spans going across. So a fairly decent size panel, not particularly wide, but big enough to, like I say, put something like a med pack in. Now, secret little thing in here then, what we've got at the base, because this pouch goes from there to there, that's how kind of big it is, that sort of size there. At the base of this then, you've got a little Velcro thing that opens up. So this bottom of the pouch then opens up and it creates a pass-through. So that goes all the way to the bottom of the pack. So, you know, if you wanted a long item in the back there, then you've got the option of basically changing it up a little bit and putting a longer item in the back there, in that back panel. So instead of it being held, which is nice and securely held by that Velcro, by the way, I'm just adding that back in there. That's nice and secure, that's not going to come undone. You've got the option of changing it up a little bit. Going on to the sides of the pack then, so the zips come down about halfway to here. It's not a full clamshell opening, but it doesn't need to be really, you know. It's a half clamshell opening, so you could potentially, you know, pre-position the zips on one side for whatever reason, if you wanted to just grab something from there. If you had, you know, if you had one of those Velcro pouches on that was a sideways kind of orientation, you could have something there ready to grab, you know, like a magazine or whatever. But going on to the actual sides of the pack then, you've got some more molly fields on the side here. So you've got 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3 this side. So, you know, you could potentially mount a relatively decent sized pouch on the side of here for, say, extra magazines, smoke grenades, maybe even, you know, water bottle pouch, something like that. So the beaver tail then, this is the beaver tail that's been removed now. There's the zip on the edge there. They've even put some features into the actual beaver tail. So I've spoken already about the LTAS system there. That's how they attach, or you would attach your pouches if you got some of the Crossfire pouches, and that baguette pouch actually comes with it. Anyway, Velcro filled on the top there, so you can whack your morale pouches on, stuff like that. Also underneath there, you've got a fold down IFF panel, so that's a great little feature they've just added there. And that's a reflective panel, so that will pop out as and when you need it. If you don't want it, it just tucks away underneath there, and that's not going to fall out. That's tucked away nicely, so that's quite an interesting little feature. On the inside then, so that would be the back of the pouch, or the front facing out, should I say. On the inside side of it then, what you've got is a little zipped pocket here on the inside, so kind of just a little secret little pocket there, you know, on the inside. So that's quite handy. It's only small, it's only that big, by this big, but you know, you could put your batteries in there for your devices that you might have on you, your torches and NVG, stuff like that. Or you could put, you know, if you was using it for civilian use, you could use that for a head torch, or you could use it for your car keys or something like that. It's a nice secure little pocket there. And then halfway down the beaver tail, just here, then you've got another one. So you've got another zip pocket there, and then it opens up, and just inside here you've got the same, but much bigger this time. So let's get that out of the way. So from there all the way to the bottom of the beaver tail, and you know, it's not particularly wide, you know, from there to there, but it's fairly long, so you could put in something. I mean, that'd be big enough for quite a big notebook and pens and stuff like that, or whatever else, you know, you might want to keep a little bit more secure in that pocket. Okay then, so what I've done here then is I've attached the baguette pouch, as they call it, directly to the back of the main pack now then. So I've taken off the beaver tail and I've attached it just directly there. Obviously it's got nothing in it at the moment because I've emptied it out, but you know, that's a fairly decent size external pouch. It's 4 litres, and that's now attached with the LTAS system, which is actually a lot easier to use than Molle, having to thread it in and out all the time. It comes on and off really quickly, but it's secure. The actual pouch here then, the external pouch, I'll just talk a little bit more about that. We've got a zip on the side there that opens up, and then inside you've actually got another mesh internal pouch that's divided into 2. So you've got a zip there on the inside, and then 2 smallish internal pouches. So you've got the one main one here. Again, you could fit an issue water bottle inside that, and a mug. It's a little bit tight, but it does fit. You could fit a smallish side basher in there, or a waterproof jacket, or a med kit, you know. So there's lots of good uses for that. They've also got their other pouches that they call half loaves. They've got a thing about bread, these guys. So they've got their other pouches that are half the size of this, funnily enough, but they're kind of a little bit more bulbous, and you could attach 2 on the back of those half loaves. Right then, so that's the functions and features of the pack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how I see it being used, the best use for it, its pros and cons, that sort of thing. Okay, so personally this would be, I think, an absolutely great assault pack. So if you were operating in a way where you needed to keep your load relatively minimal, this would be a great bit of kit. So for example, you know, the guys fighting out in Ukraine at the moment, going into trench systems and stuff like that, you won't want to be carrying a massive day sack if you don't have to. If you were literally just carrying water, ammunition, med kit, radios, that sort of thing, this would be an absolutely great bit of kit. If you're working out of vehicles, so whether that's things like jackals or armour, you know, like armour personnel carriers, things like that, and you're short on space, again, I think this would be a perfect bit of kit for that sort of thing. For your more specialised troops doing door kicking, that sort of thing, you know, going into compounds, again, you want to keep your kit nice and minimal, don't you? But you're probably not going to get away with just a warfighting belt because of the things I just mentioned. You know, your extra ammunition, a lot of water is going to be needed if you're working in any kind of hot climate as well, and things like radios, radio batteries, that sort of thing. So this would give you a nice little bit of additional capacity, and it gives you the option of scaling up or scaling down what you're carrying. Okay, so you can have it as a very low profile pack with just the minimal stuff in it, or you can start to scale it up. You can use that stuff pocket there, the kangaroo pouch, or you could add on extra pouches onto the front or even onto the sides. So it gives you the options there of doing it. Okay, some pros and cons of the pack then. So the first one is, I think this is ideal because of one of the things I just mentioned. It's very sort of adaptable and configurable, so you can change it according to your role, according to the task that you've been given. You can scale it up, scale it down fairly quickly too. So that's one really strong point I think about this pack. Next one is it's definitely robust. Okay, so I've used this, I've been out hiking with this a few times now. I've used it in the field, and you can just tell the quality of the materials used, you know, the 500D Cordura, it is robust. You know, it's going to hold up to the bumps and knocks that military guys give their kit, and I just, yeah, I think that, to be honest, with most well, all of the Crossfire kit that I've used so far, that's definitely a strong feature of their kit. It's all robust. Next thing, it's very comfortable. So even though it's only got that relatively thin padding on the shoulder straps, you know, I've carried this with around about 25 pound in all day for a couple of days, and it's absolutely fine, really comfortable, you know, easily adjustable shoulder straps. You've got the nice sturdy sternum strap as well, so that's a very strong point with this rucksack as well. Okay, a couple of cons then. One thing that I haven't mentioned about the hydration then, so the ports for it are very minimal. Okay, so underneath this zip here and underneath this strap here, there's a tiny little port. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my finger through, and it's just basically under there. Okay, so it's difficult to see on the camera, but it's under this strap here, and there's like a little port there, but it's just basically a slit underneath there. And I'm quite surprised that Crossfire haven't put a bit more thought into making the bladder sort of port where your tube will come out, put a bit more thought into it, because in the bigger packs they've got a great feature for that. And one of the main reasons for carrying something like this would be hydration, wouldn't it? It's not a drama, because basically all you need to do, if that didn't work for you, like I don't really, you know, I'm not that keen on that. All you can do is just zip it open to the point where you want your tube to come out, and then it'll come out that point. So it's not really a drama. And I've spoken to the guys that designed this, and they're actually looking to change that and make it a bigger slot for the tube anyway. So just one thing that I think is not particularly ideal. Next con then is it's relatively heavy for the size of it. With it being such a small pack, it's only, you know, 26 litres maximum. It's 1.6 kilos. Okay, so that's not light at all for this size of pack. But the reason why it's heavy is because of all the features it's got built into it. You can't have both, you know. But you know, 1.6 kilos is not a lot of weight, really, is it? You know, but it needs to be sturdy for the nature of the task that this is designed for. You know, when you're carrying relatively heavy items in a small space, things like your radios, your radio batteries, ammunition and water, the weight tots up really quickly, you know. So if it wasn't that sort of heavy build quality, which makes it heavier, it wouldn't be up to the task. So even though some people may see that as a bit of a con, personally it's not really. But yeah, just a potential sort of downside for those if you wanted to keep your kit ultra light. This isn't that ultra light. Okay, and the other thing is, this isn't a cheap bag. Okay, so on the Crossfire website it's currently £196. That's a lot of money, isn't it, for a fairly small pack. However, you know, quality comes at a price, and as the saying goes, you know, buy once, cry once, and all that sort of stuff. But you know, if you can afford it, if that's within your price bracket, I'd definitely recommend this for use for the things that I've said. Okay, so that's my thoughts on the Crossfire CF1 pack. I think it's a really great compact fighting pack for troops that, you know, need to cut down on their space for whatever reason, whether it's their role or whether it's, you know, just because how they're going to actually start doing their job. So whether that's fighting in trenches, whether that's going through buildings, whether that's mechanised, which is everyone pretty much, isn't it, you know. So this pack's available now on the Crossfire website. It is £196 for this, and it's available in Tiger Stripe as seen here, which is pretty damn sexy. It's available in Desert Tiger Stripe, which is pretty damn cool as well. It's available in Ranger Green, M81, another pretty cool camo pattern, and the obvious multicam, which is probably going to be the choice for most people that are going to be using this professionally. So if anyone else is out there has used this pack, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. You know, have you found any problems with it that I haven't mentioned? Any bonuses, any good points about it that I haven't actually picked up on? Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you got on with it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and as always, stay prepared.